Beyond Shadowgate, a TurboGrafx Super CD adventure by ICOM Simulations that is not very well known and has a tendency to snag a ton of collector's cash. It is a sequel to the original 1987 point-and-click adventure Shadowgate by the same company. And yes, yours truly played that one on the Apple Macintosh during my school's computer club. Yeah, back then it was actually a little club, and when you were a member, let me tell you, the ladies loved it. Yeah. It appeared on other computers, but the popular 1989 Nintendo Entertainment System version is the one that I loved. Well, in the spring of 1993, I read a coming attractions teaser for Beyond Shadowgate. It didn't say much, but it had the name Shadowgate in the title, so sold. It's actually in one of those oversized CD cases and comes with a really cool poster, which as a kid I hung up on my bedroom door. Oh yeah, I was that cool. Let's pop this in and get ready for an adventure of a lifetime where even dying can be awesome. Before you begin, you might have to do some memory cleanup because Beyond Shadowgate takes up a ton of save space. We start with a long narration told in sort of a storybook manner. The great part? It begins by revealing the ending of the original Shadowgate, proving it to be a true sequel. In this second tale, Prince Eric is traveling abroad when he receives word that his father, the current king, was murdered. Assuming he will now gain the throne, Eric arrives to meet with the newly appointed royal advisor Belazar, who nicely tosses him into a cell, blaming Eric for masterminding a plot to kill the king. See, what I always say is true. Stay on vacation and never come home. Eric now has a few hours to get out of there and free the land from the evil grips of the Warlock Lord deep within Castle Shadowgate, or else... oh my. Unlike the original, Beyond Shadowgate is a point-and-click adventure viewed from the perspective of a platformer, where you are actively in control. In other words, Eric has some basic moves, including walking in 4 directions, kneeling down by holding button 2, and punching by tapping button 1. Where this game parallels the original is in its puzzle solving, the examination, proper usage, and collecting of items, watching out for numerous traps, and of course, dying. A lot. Let me tell you, the select button will be your best friend. It will activate different icons, including Icon of Touch for selections or interacting with objects. Icon of Sight, which, in the spirit of the original, gives you lovely and sometimes humorous text descriptions of backgrounds, items, or areas. And Icon of Conversation, which starts a dialogue with another character, often freezing the game with an amusing cutscene or voiceover.
Give me your gold, and I won't kill you.
Right from the get-go, there is a puzzle which is almost like a quick training session as you try to escape your own cell. Button 2 brings up your inventory screen, and most selections will require you to swap back and forth between select and 2 and 1. If you do something right, you'll hear this charming sound. Anyway, light the straw with the match, guard comes in, punch him out, snag his keys and bucket, use the key on the door, bam! First problem solved. Sound easy? Well, that one isn't too bad, and I wouldn't say any of the puzzles will melt your brain, but they do get a bit more complicated. In fact, some things you do will have serious consequences, some good and some bad. Many parts of the game require that you check doors, shops, houses, and sometimes dead ends. You'll also find or purchase numerous tools of victory, including pepper shakers, gems, mystical boxes, squeaky mouse toys, beard combs, seashells, and many, many, many more. Careful, as some of these are required. See that little pixel right there? Yeah, That's a quartz. How could you possibly see that on the ground? Well, guess what? If you don't snag it early on, you can't beat the game. So search everywhere, talk to everyone, and try not to miss anything, or else you'll be backtracking. The visuals in Beyond Shadowgate are extremely beautiful, and every scene feels like a storybook page. No matter where Eric travels, villages, woods, castles, the backgrounds are gorgeous. To me, each one looks like an individual work of art. The characters and variety of beasts you'll encounter are all different, well drawn, often funny, creating unique personalities. This game looks like nothing else on the TurboGrafx and is a real treat for the eyes. The voice work is pretty good.
Well, hey, just standing here doing my thing.
And the music is threatening at times, blood pumping in others, and charming as the beautiful butterflies soar overhead. It's great. The only bummer is that the music restarts with each load of the CD in and out of scenes. The sound effects are also good, unlocking doors, evil growls, or Eric punching. Damn, he's doing some major damage to that air. A perfect audio balance all the way around.
Yes, I'm a happy hermit now.
I already mentioned how the game controls, and it's really not bad, it just might take you a while to get used to it. Hitting run will bring up a menu that allows you to shut off the music and sound effects, as well as load or save a game. Trust me, get used to saving as often as you can, or you will be sorry. I love it. When Eric dies in a sometimes hilarious way, it's back to the title screen. If you're quick enough, you can load before the screen fades out, avoiding this altogether. But be careful, because the cursor will stay on the load button from a previous time. So if you're in a hurry to save, you might load instead of save, and that sucks. Now, there are times I wish Eric could move diagonally, and maybe had a dash button, as he can be a bit slow. And the punch is a little awkward. You often have to get right up on an enemy in order to get in enough hits before they take you out. But the negatives I have are extremely minor because I absolutely love Beyond Shadowgate. It is one of my favorite games on the TurboGrafx and a completely unique experience all the way around. It has a pretty good replay value, as there are multiple endings based on which items you have collected, what paths you have taken, and what decisions you have made. The game has a great sense of humor, and if you just go along with it, you'll probably have some real fun. Also, just trying to find all the ways that Eric can die, I don't know, there's some kind of sick pleasure there. ICOM Simulations is kind of hit or miss with me on the TurboGrafx, but it seems like with Beyond Shadowgate they pulled out at all the stops and created a heck of a solid, well-choreographed Super CD. It does have some familiar elements to please Shadowgate fans, but it's also different enough to make for an original game. Beyond Shadowgate is just great, and this is coming from someone who was in computer clubs, so I know what I'm talking about.